Wait, so you're taking the bar to try
So I
this
could try
case
it.
that ends up being like the benchmark for.
Sexual harassment case.
Wow.
I had no idea.
But what were your aspirations at that time, going back?
To go back to Philly and be a federal prosecutor. That's what I
Federal
wanted to do.
prosecutor,
And
but-
so I was just here to work for a year and then go back.
But when you wanted to be a federal prosecutor, did you think that's where it was going to end and stop with you? I mean, what were your aspirations, like from the time you were 12?
You
up
just
to
wanted
this
to put
point?
away bad guys.
I want to be. Yeah, my always goal was to be a mom and a lawyer. So I figured I'll be a prosecutor for a while, then I'll be a mom full time. Like that was my plan.
All things change.
All things
I end up
change.
doing everything at the same time. Welcome to this episode of Bourbon Proof, where we share stories with those who have been successful at law and life, and we do so over all kind of different spirits, always whiskey, sometimes blended whiskey, sometimes bourbon, sometimes Finnish rye, sometimes Scotch. And I'm joined, as always, my co-host, Mara Fiore.
Hello. Hello, Maryann.
Hi, Mara.
Thank
So
you
good to
for
see
coming,
you.
Maryann.
I'm good to see you.
And we have a very esteemed guest on today, the trial lawyer of the year, mentor extraordinaire, badass in the courtroom, inside and out, Maryann Gallagher.
Thank you. It's so good to see you guys.
So Maryann's wearing her reds.
Her famous red Converse.
So her red Converse, which we see in the courtrooms, and they're very famous, and I'm glad you wore those because the first whiskey I selected for you is none other than Redbreast. This is a Redbreast 15. This is an Irish whiskey. I think it's
Ooh,
triple
2
distilled.
points.
As your husband Blake know, I mean, this is an Irish whiskey, so this is going to definitely be a different taste than maybe some of the other ones. And then we'll start just telling the story of you going all the way back to Eastern Pennsylvania. Okay.
Maryann, how many pairs of Converse do you own?
I have the OG, the one that I wore when I had my dress, and I got my trial lawyer there. That's in a box. And then I have like 4 or 5. I have when they get dirty, and I have my outside ones. I have my going to court ones. But I never wear my checks inside the courtroom or inside church. Those are the 2 places
Really?
I take them off. I put shoes on. Yeah.
Well, cheers. We'll do the first one, then we'll hear the story, because I want to get right into
Cheers.
that, you know.
Cheers. It's so good to see you guys. Wow! It's hot. But it's good.
Woo. Definitely different from the
It's
stuff we
good.
usually drink.
Different from the American stuff, that's for sure, but
Yep.
it's good. I like
Do I
it.
smell it first?
A lot of people swear by this whiskey.
I like it.
Yeah, the Irish side of my family really likes this one,
Redbreast.
but they couldn't afford it. So the
It smells like my grandpa.
yeah, see this, you know, spirits are supposed to bring out stories and smells that remind you of things. So tell us about, you know, first of all, where you grew up, because everybody assumes that, you know, you're so successful now that you must have always had this success and been like this when you grew up.
I wish. No, I grew up one of 7, the middle kid, 5 boys, 2 girls, in Philadelphia, and my dad worked 3 jobs, put us through. We lived on food stamps. We all went, but my parents put us all through Catholic school, uniforms, all that stuff, Catholic high school. So that was my goal when I had kids. I wanted them all to go to Catholic school, and because I think it was a good race for me. So I always wanted, from the time I was 12, I wanted to be a lawyer. But
Wow.
my family couldn't afford to send me to school. My dad's like, I can't send anyone to college. If you want to go to college, you're on your own. So I just started working. I started actually working for a judge when I was 16 before I think it was legal to work. I just did parking tickets. I worked at his office. I just wanted to learn about the law
Well, you
from
should
that time.
know whether it's legal to work. I mean, you do employment
I,
work.
know, I didn't know back then.
You know, incidentally, I went to Catholic school myself, and look how I turned out.
Look, you're a good boy.
Both my parents went to Catholic school, and they say that's the reason why we didn't go to Catholic
Really?
school. If you look at our website, you look up my dad's profile, he actually talks about getting beat by the nuns. I mean, tongue in cheek, but my dad's very. My mom went to North Catholic in Pittsburgh. My dad went to Canterbury Catholic.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. But yeah, so, I mean, Irish family?
Irish family. Well, my mom's Polish, so they had the story of the coal miner. She was from Coalport, where the poor Polish women would pick up the Irish dudes. And that's what happened to my family.
And that's where ours is similar too. So Pittsburgh, same thing, very heavy Polish and Irish population. It's very the same. So we were talking before we went on camera about candy bars, because we were talking about Willy Wonka and some stuff, but Hershey, PA.
Hershey,
Pennsylvania.
Hershey, Pennsylvania smells like a Hershey bar. If you can imagine driving into a place and the whole place smells like chocolate, it's amazing. It's really fun.
We used to play our state championships there in Pennsylvania. Hershey. It was always the goal to get to Hershey.
That's where you're from, Hershey?
I'm from
Outside.
Philly,
Philly, oh, Philly.
but Hershey's not too far.
We have another place outside of Pittsburgh called Mars. Like, they just named shit after candy. And it was like, we're
Yeah,
keeping
yeah.
Have you ever
That
been
was
to
bacon.
Gilroy up in Central California where they grow all the garlic? If you drive through the town, the whole town smells like garlic. This is where they grow it.
Oh, wow.
I bet you they don't have vampires there.
Probably not.
Yeah, so, growing up one of 7, when did you come out to, how did you get to California?
Well, that's a crazy story. I never planned on being here. I never planned on being in California. I never planned on being a civil litigator. My plan was to be a federal prosecutor. So through law school, I worked for a federal judge who I loved. He was it was federal court. He was one of the only African-American judges there in Philadelphia at the time. And I loved him. So I worked for 3 years. During the day, I worked as a clerk, went to law school, and on the weekends, I would waitress 40 hours on the weekend from Friday at 4, all night till 2 in the morning, Saturday double shift, Sunday double shift, and then go back and go to law school and do my clerkship. So
Wow.
Where
love
did you go to law school?
Temple in the heart of Philly, in the streets. It was fun. But so that's what I wanted. I said, I'm going to be a federal prosecutor. So he said, you'll do a clerkship with me for the first 2 years and then go into the federal prosecutor. So I did a clerkship with a federal prosecutor, clerkship with a federal public defender. Temple was great, getting you out there and working when I was in law school. So third year, he promised me, we said, okay, you're going to start in September. But the guy in front of me got his girlfriend pregnant. And nobody knew this, but there's a clause in a clerkship. They're usually 2 years. But there's an option that you can say, I want to stay for a third year. So January of my senior year, third year, this guy's like, I'm going to exercise my option. So the judge came to me and he goes, I don't know what to tell you. This guy exercised his option. I can't say no. So you can't start for another year. I'm like, shit, what am I going to do? I can't work because I can't go to a law firm and say, hey, I'm leaving in a year. So my best friend, I have 4 best friends. They're still my 4 best friends. People from back east, they're lifelong friends. My friend Wolfie from preschool is still my best friend.
Real name Wolfie?
That's her. That's my name for her. She used to look like Wolfman Jack. Poor kid. When she was in high school, that's
She
what they
doesn't
said.
sound that pretty.
She's beautiful. I think she looks like Adrienne Barbeau, but the guys, she was kind of hairy back then, so they called her Wolfman Jack. But she's beautiful. So anyway, the 4 of us have always, I talk to them every day. So Karen's out here, one of them, and none of them went to college. None of them had the chance to. So I said, I had a chance to go to college. I had a chance to go to law school. I'm going to come out to California, and I'm going to work. And Karen, you just go. She wanted to be an actress/waitress. It was a really tough time. So I came out. I said, I have a year. I'll just come and work at temp jobs, and I'll pay for it. And then you go on auditions. And if you make it, take me to the Academy Awards. And if you don't make it, then we'll both come home in a year. So I came out here with $500 in my pocket. That was gone in the first week when we paid rent. So I just started. I went to Apple One. And I did take the bar before I came out here, and I passed the bar in Pennsylvania.
Yeah.
So
Are you still licensed in Pennsylvania?
no, it lapsed because I never got to do all the stuff. But so I came out here. I called the bar when I got here. I'm like, hey, I'm an attorney in Pennsylvania. And they're like, how long have you been an attorney? I'm like, 1 week. I'm like, can I take the attorney bar? They're like, no. And you have to pay the attorney price and take the full bar. I'm like, that sucks.
Oh.
So I had to do it all over again out in California. But I wasn't planning on becoming an attorney. I just wanted to find out what could I do.
But what were your aspirations at that time, going back?
To go back to Philly and be a federal prosecutor. That's what I
Federal
wanted to do.
prosecutor,
And so I was just here to work for a year and then go back.
But when you wanted to be a federal prosecutor, did you think that's where it was going to end and stop with you? I mean, what were your aspirations, from the time you were 12?
You just wanted to put away bad guys.
I want to be. Yeah, my always goal was to be a mom and a lawyer. So I figured I'll be a prosecutor for a while, then I'll be a mom full time. That was my plan. And
Wow, how things change.
how things
I end up
change.
doing everything at the same time.
So I started working at Apple One. So I'm going to all these temp agencies. I'm taking a bus. I'm working at I worked at Warner Brothers as a receptionist for 1 week. Mel Blanc came in, and I had this long skirt on, and I was answering the phone, and I saw Mel Blanc. I went to stand up, and I fell flat on the floor. I'm like, hi, Mr. Blanc. That was how I met. That was my first brush with celebrity, and my only brush
He
with
probably
celebrity.
worked into a few movies now that I think about it.
Maybe, but
Did he do his Porky Pig voice?
no. I think he was shocked and because what the hell's going on with this girl? So my mom's like, you're working at all these places. You should be a lawyer. You should be working at law firms. So that's how I ended up getting to Hurley, Gersini, and Renko, which is where I ended up doing PI.
Really.
So they were 2 blocks from my house, so I didn't have to take the bus. I started as the secretary, I was answering the phones, and I was there for 2 weeks. And at the end of 2 weeks, somebody at the firm liked me and said, let's hire this girl as a secretary. She's great.
Did they know you were a lawyer?
No, nobody knew us. I didn't tell anybody I was a lawyer because I was kind of embarrassed. I'm like, I'm only here. People are going to say, what are you doing? I'm like, I'm just trying to make money.
Now, at this point, have you had plans, or did you take the California bar yet?
No, not. I was still going back to Philly. That was my plan. So they came out and they're like, it was Hurley, and he's this big dude from Pittsburgh, and he's like, "Are you a member of some bar?" I'm like, shit, where was I last night? Like, because he didn't know I was a lawyer, so I thought he saw me out drinking. I'm like, "I'm sorry, sir, what do you mean?" And he's like, "Are you a lawyer?" And I'm like, "I am a lawyer in Pennsylvania." I told him the whole story. And he goes, "Would you like to be a law clerk?" I'm like, "Yeah, sure." I said, "I'm only staying for a year." He's like, "That's fine." So they took me in the back and they asked me a bunch of questions. And then, I don't know if we should say this on video, but they gave me a motion for summary judgment on a sexual harassment case, which is Boone versus AT&T, which turns out to be this huge published case. But they didn't want to touch it. So they're like, "Give it to the new girl." So I'm in the law library doing research, and Gersini, the other trial partner, walks by and he goes, "What the hell is a secretary in the law library doing research?" And Hurley's like, "Don't worry, she's fine." So they let me, I did this op to this MSJ. I did like all kinds of legal work. And we won. So it came from another attorney. They were doing it as a favor. These guys are like all fathers. They all have like 5 kids. They're wonderful. They didn't want to touch sexual harassment. This is like 30 years ago. So they're like, "Okay, now what are we going to do? We have to try this case." So Gersini's like, "I can't try this case without Maryann because she knows everything." And he didn't really know about it. He didn't want to know about it. So they asked me to take the bar.
I didn't know this story.
So they asked me to take the bar in California. I'm like, "Yeah, sure." So I didn't know. I'm like,
Wait, so
"Yeah,
you're
I'll give
taking the bar to try
So I
this
could try a
case
case.
that ends up being like the benchmark for...
Sexual harassment cases.
Wow.
I had no idea. So I took,
Wow.
so I took the bar, and I passed. But then, like, they were like my mom and dad. So
What year was this? Give us
This was 1990. I think it was 1989, 1990.
Wow.
Wow.
We'll finish this because the perfect choice
Finish
was...
this?
Because now we're getting the second pour, which is actually benchmark. This is benchmark foolproof, which is... This is
Grandpa. Thanks, Grandpa.
Yeah, this you better not thank Grandpa for this one because it's 125 proof. So
Oh my God.
yeah.
Whoa. I'm ready.
Well, you know why they say once you pass the bar, why they call passing the bar, right?
I passed 2. Do I get a double shot?
Yeah, you get a double shot.
No, I shouldn't do that on a 20.
Well, they say it just really because you get to walk across that little
Yes,
bar
that's the
to get
most
to the other
important
side.
thing.
But you can work an
There's a
alcohol
country
joke in there.
song called that says, "You'll never be a lawyer, but you can't pass the bar." It's about a
No, and that was-
guy who's a drunk.
That's why
Really?
they wanted me
Yeah.
to take the case so I could pass the bar and sit with
Maybe we
Christine
should
at
make
the
that
table.
our theme song.
I know we should probably play that song when you said that because.
All right, cheers, guys.
All right, now we're on to
Now we're on to
the legal career.
The
well,
legal
now
career.
the real legal career, like the legal career, not like 16-year-old doing illegal jobs in Pennsylvania.
So we tried Boone versus AT&T. That was the fight. Should we let her sit with us at the table? Because there was a woman attorney on the other side. And Gersini was afraid that if he beat up on a woman in front of a jury, that wouldn't look good. So he's like, let me bring Maryann in and put her next to me, but she can't talk. Like, I don't want her to say anything. Not because I was stupid, but just because he's the trial lawyer. I'm like, that's
So
fine.
at this point, are you in your late 20s?
Yeah, I was 27.
Wow.
I was 27.
And
So-
for those of you that are watching or listening, whatever medium on, like Larry Gassini is also one of the greatest trial lawyers.
Twice. He won trial lawyer of the year,
Yeah.
twice.
One of the rare ones.
Yeah, and a wonderful
He
man.
was Cala president too.
He was Cala president too. He's an
Yeah.
amazing man, father of 5 kids. He's like, he and Roland were my role models. Like 2 men made me the attorney that I am, but that's okay.
You there because Lars Johnson was there for a while.
Lars
too.
was there a while after I left. He was there after I left.
Yeah, I like Lars a lot, but now he's a full-time mediator. Okay, so you're fresh off passing the bar in California. You escalated from being the secretary to law clerk to now
second
trying
chair.
this case. Second chair, not supposed to talk or say a word. So what happened?
But I did all the stuff. Like I would come in every day with a folder of what to cross-examine everybody on. So we told the jury. He wanted to tell the jury because again, why is this girl sitting here at the table, which is it's holy ground, if she's not a lawyer, if she hasn't passed the bar. So we had to get permission from the judge to let me sit there. And I said I passed the bar, but I haven't been sworn in yet. So because Larry didn't want me to get sworn in because he wanted to be able to say I was a law clerk, but I'm not an attorney yet. So we tried the case. At the end of the case, we went upstairs to his friend Judge Diane Wayne, and she swore me in. So I got sworn in after we passed.
How long was this trial?
It was 2 weeks.
Strange how he didn't want them to know you were a lawyer.
It was like he's very brilliant as far as everything is about how the jury perceives you. So they didn't want a jury to say, why is this female lawyer sitting next to this guy trying a sexual harassment case and he's not letting her speak? So I was a law clerk assisting him, but I wasn't able to.
So were
be a lawyer.
you? Were the red chucks involved yet?
No, the red checks weren't involved.
Wow. So when did
It
the
was
red?
just me. I was still planning on going back to Philly at that time. I'm like, I'll try this case. I'll have fun. I had fun, and I was going to go back. But after I tried it, I loved it. Like that got me into harassment and sexual harassment cases. It just really did. So that's what lighted the spark in me, because the law changes every day, and it's so much fun to learn all these different laws.
But when their firm at that point, had they ever tried a case
Never
like
tried.
this?
Didn't want to touch it. Didn't want to have anything to do with it. And even when the trial was done, never wanted to touch another sexual harassment. So I did PI trials for 10 years. We did catastrophic injuries. We got huge verdicts for people, but I would go with Blake. I'd be in the movies and I'm crying because my client's a quadriplegic in a chair and he can't go to a movie. I'm like, this is unfair. It was really hard on me. So I decided I wanted to go back into employment. So I went out on my own, and that's when I started my own.
How long after you passed the bar do you went out on your own?
10 years.
10 years.
10 years of trying cases with Christine.
So now you're in your probably
30.
mid
I
late
got
30s.
married, and I was 34. We got married. Then I went on my own. After
You
I
met
got married.
Blake, your husband, who's
I
offset.
met Blake
You met
in
him here
the
in LA?
elevator at my building. So on Friday nights, Roland Wrinkle, who's the genius brain, would bring us all lawyers in and torture us at 5 o'clock on Friday and start going over cases. Like that was what he did to us. So, but we had the balcony. And on Friday night at 5 o'clock, across the way was Blake, who was on the mortgage side, partying and firing up the margaritas. So we're all sitting there like being tortured, listening to law, and Blake's over there partying. I'm like, I want to be over there. So we met in the elevator.
Was he scantily clad? Like
Yeah, they were all drunk and crazy, having a great time. But we met in the elevator, and I did not want to have anything to do with him because I thought mortgage brokers, he just wants to sell me a house. Like that's what he wants to do. So I would say no for him for years and years. Then all the girls in his office decided to get him, and he took me on this date. He never told me this till after we got married. He took me to Starbucks, and he got me tea because he said, how about if we go out for coffee? And I said, I don't drink coffee. And I just closed the door and went into my office because I didn't think anything of it. I was just like, I don't drink coffee. So then he's like, he calls me on the phone. How about tea? Because all the girls are telling him what to say. So he takes me to Starbucks, and he brings out a leather satchel with tea bags. And he's like, would you just get some hot water? I'm like, okay, that's really cool. But then he starts asking me all these questions about my family, and I thought he was doing a loan application. So I'm
my God.
So I'm like answering these.
Well, he was. I mean, let's be honest. He was qualifying you. He wanted to see your credit score.
So that's what I thought it was. I thought it was like a loan application coffee. So then he goes, why don't we go to dinner? So we go to dinner, and that was great. And then we ended up falling in love and everything. But he didn't tell me till after we were engaged that the Starbucks was a screener date, and if he didn't like me, he was gonna not spend money on dinner. I'm like, you motherfucker! I never would have
Where did he?
And he got away with the hot water. I mean, real cheap.
I know. Is that
Wow.
crazy?
Big spender.
I don't know
over
if the
there.
girls. He probably planned that part, knowing him, and the girls probably weren't on board with that. But then they were like, send her roses, and they kind of incorporated behind him. And then Grassini and Roland got in it on my side. And then when he asked me to marry me, when I came in the next morning, there's a big banner, congratulations on your engagement, and like this big food. I'm like, what if I said no? Like,
Oh my God.
it was so funny.
But you're at this point now, so you're. I mean, you're probably almost 10 years in.
10 years
8 years
in, I was nominated Trial Lawyer of the Year. The year we got engaged, and I took him to the Kayla thing. I didn't know. I don't know. And they're like, well, who's this dude? What are you bringing him here for? I'm like, he's my fiance. And like, you don't bring people to this thing. Like that was when they were doing you had to do your speeches. And on that day, I was getting married that Saturday. That was Thursday. My gown had come back from the dry cleaners, and I opened it up, and it was black. The whole train of my gown was black, because they closed up my gown and it got moldy during the time that was. So before I go to get my first nomination for Trial of the Year, my wedding gown is black. We're crying at my house. So I'm out in the hallway while they're doing everybody else's speeches. I'm talking to the dry cleaner. I'm like, you better get my gown down. This is Thursday. My wedding dress by Saturday.
How many times were you nominated for Trial of the Year before you won? 6 times.
Wow.
You know that on her 6th time, who she was up against for Trial of the Year?
Rally?
Yep.
And me. And me.
And Bob.
And there's 2 other ones. I think Raul Ravapudi might have been that year too. Yeah, she crushed I think 2 or 3 big employment verdicts, important cases that year. And then the Chuck's in and out of the courtroom, but never in the courtroom or church.
Right.
So we've learned. So, but now you're 10 years out. And I know at one point you said you wanted to have this full-time job
Did
of
you
being a
pour
mom.
the benchmark?
Oh,
Yeah.
Because I thought
No,
I
I
thought I
poured.
drank. I didn't see you pour it. Oh, so you poured it?
I'm like a magician, dude.
Whoa!
How many drinks have you had?
Sorry.
Because I thought I had drank my Redbreast, and that's
No,
Oh,
you did
poured
drink
this.
a Redbreast, and I
Okay.
poured the benchmark.
And this is the 125.
125.
That was
This is
good.
straight from Kentucky.
All right, give me another hit so I can click.
You want another one? Oh, shit, I like this one. Wow.
Before we go
Wow.
to my next phase.
This is good because for
Okay, that's
how
good.
hot proof this is, it's good.
Actually,
test.
for as high proof it is, it's smooth.
Yeah. And, you
Can
know,
I ask, how did the bromance begin between you two?
we met in a hot tub in Vegas.
Yeah, it was.
That's actually true.
I believe it.
And Bob loved my hairy chest. You know,
I love
it's
you
just-
guys.
That's what happened.
No, he's hairless like a seal.
Yeah, I am.
Are you really?
Yeah, my
We're
mom's
not gonna
hairless,
ask
and
you to
it's
prove
just my mom's hairless, and
Not even on your back?
no hair anywhere.
Do you have hair on your back?
No, I don't think so.
You're lucky.
My,
Yeah,
That's a curse.
I have my 3 little girls looking for weird hairs now that I'm almost my mid-40s. Like they're doing checks. But yeah, we want to thank like our alcohol sponsor today, the Booze Outlet. He sources like the weird stuff that we want to find, like Benchmark. My next one that they brought us is Angel's Envy Rye. So Booze Outlet, you can find them. They can deliver anything you want. They're opening up their own speakeasy shop in the near future in SoCal, and we're excited for
Let's do
that.
a click before we
Click,
move on.
click, click.
Cheers. Cheers, Mara.
To the first 10 years of practice. Mariann.
Yes. We made it.
First of 6 tries. It's almost like the Sally Field, always runner up
Yes.
for being
Susan Lucci. I was the Susan Lucci.
Susan Lucci, that's what it was. Who bet
6
you got?
nominations.
Uh-huh.
Wow.
It's fun. I had fun every time.
I only have
Like,
5.
I'm always only at 5.
How many did you have?
3, I think I'm 3.
You guys need more.
But so you always wanted to be a full-time mom at some point. So how did that balance work? Because I know you teach a lot of, and I read the article that you had out of how you're teaching women how they can have everything at the same time and not be worried about being perfect and everything. I wanted to attach that when we do this part of the show for production. I love to be able to show parts of that article because it's very powerful for people to be able to understand women coming up, how they can actually do things. So how did you balance that?
That's so important because, well, first I had Blake, who's wonderful. You have to give up control. For us, for a woman, or for a lawyers, you have to have control over everything. Everything has to be perfect. That goes out the window when you have kids.
Yep.
It's chaos. You can't control everything. But that's the beauty of it. Like, you learn, that's what I love about it. Like, you don't know. There were days, like I said, I would cry when I went to court because it was always 3 o'clock in the morning. They get the fevers, always.
Yep.
102. I had
This
to
literally
leave.
was my life this morning.
Yeah,
My youngest was 3 a.m. I've been up with
Is she
her.
okay?
She's fine, but you know, it's the same.
It's crazy.
You know, my wife always says they're fine. You know, I'm on the other end of the spectrum. If they have like a cough or a ruffy
you're
nose,
the
I'm a panicker. I was like, maybe we should take them to the doctor. She's like, what's wrong with you? If they're fine.
'cause she has to drive
I said,
them.
are you sure they're fine? I mean,
Oh.
it seems like they're sick. She says, according to my wife, they're always fine. I have
That's
a
good.
5-year-old and a 4-year-old. They're always fine.
Yeah, I
and
say
how old are
that.
yours?
Say 6, 3, and 1. But they're all friends, so we travel together.
That's so great. You have girls or boys?
I have a 20-year-old girl and a 5-year-old son.
Wow.
And my daughter, Samantha, will be 4 next month.
Oh.
So she's 3 3/4.
Oh, girls
They're
love
awesome.
their daddies.
They do.
And boys love their mommies. I had
Yep.
3 boys, so that's why I love it.
So we're going to get to that story now because you had, I think, your first, you had 37, 39, 41.
Uh-huh.
So 2 years apart. And I know, I mean, the world now is a lot different than it was when you were having children. Would you agree with that?
Oh, yeah.
Especially a lot different for women.
Uh-huh. It's a lot more open and giving the space and the time.
But
women
back
need.
then, I mean, can you share with people? I know that there was, when you were, I think about to pick a jury and you were pregnant with your 3rd child. Can you just share with us what happened and then how you got through it?
Yeah, I had a miscarriage, and I woke up. I was ready to go to Van Nuys to pick a jury, and I woke up and there was just blood everywhere, and I was just like, I knew it was horrible. So I called. Unfortunately, Blake wasn't there, so our next door neighbor came over. My little kids I slept in the garage because I was in trial, so I had to be, when you're in trial, I had to separate myself from my kids physically, because otherwise they'd be with me all night. So Blake.
They're probably 3 and 1 at this point.
Yeah. So woke up, I had a miscarriage. It was horrible. I knew the baby was gone, but I had to go to the doctors anyway. And I think one of the hardest things was walking in the office with all the pregnant women so happy, and I was trying not to cry because I didn't want to kill their joy, but I just burst out in tears. And I went in and they did the ultrasound, and the office called. This was when I was with Larry, and it was like this old lady that broke her arm in a crosswalk, and we were arguing at stop signs at Rouse, and she wasn't the nicest lady. So Larry called, and the men and this is not a slam on them, that's what they do. They decided, okay, 2 weeks is good. Nobody talked to me.
Wow.
They're like, 2 weeks continuance will be fine. So Larry called and he goes, okay, you're going to be back in 2 weeks. And I said, I just need some time. Just, I want to be with my kids. I just want to spend some time. And the lady said to Larry, well, she's not ready. Then you're going to try the case. And Larry's like, I'm not trying. She's just nasty. Nobody wanted her. I'm like, oh my God. So all I did was, there was no one to talk to back then. Like, I didn't know anyone else that had a miscarriage. So I just I said, if I just get out of the house and walk and just take a few steps and go to the front lawn. And I did that. And then I said, if I just walk around the block, and every day I would just walk a little bit more. And I cried because I didn't want to cry in front of my kids. I didn't want them to know what happened. So I took all my grief outside. I took everything outside, just walked it off. And then I knew I had this goal of 2 weeks I had to go back in. And I did it. Like, part of it was good because after that, I just said, I have this time. And I did say to God, I said, I know this baby wasn't ready, and that's why you took him. You wouldn't have done it if he wasn't ready. So he's with you. I trust you. And once I gave that back, the control back to God, because I don't have any control over that, then I was like, okay, let me move on and see where I need to go. And I got like a $1.8 million verdict for a 90-year-old lady, and I got her like $50,000 in loss of earnings. It was crazy. But I was like a mad person when I went to trial. Like, I think I took my anger out, like in trial.
And that's what, that money in Van Nuys specifically, even today's dollars, is probably like 15 million. If you put it in perspective. But yeah, I mean, that's like a lot of people don't realize the human aspect of what a trial lawyer, what you were going through at the time.
Mm-hmm.
So you didn't have this big support system, and you're probably in a at that time, certainly male-dominated like arena. Who was your support, and how has that changed now?
It really wasn't, well, Blake was, but there wasn't a woman that I could turn to, which that's why I'm such an advocate of women. Because when I came up, there was me, Chris Spagnoli, Amy Solomon, Gretchen, and I think there was like 5 of us.
Wow.
And none of them had been mothers, so I didn't really have a mom to talk to, like a mom lawyer to talk to. So I was kind of navigating on my own. That's why I'm so, like, that's my goal is to, I want women to be mothers. I don't want them to shy away from being a lawyer because they think it's too much. Like, I went through a really, really tough time. I made it. You can make it. You can make it through anything. You're resilient. You are a woman lawyer for a reason because you're brilliant and you can kick ass. So I think a lot of women doubt themselves and they let their doubts get into their mind. I talk to so many women in their 30s and they're like, I'm never going to find a guy. And I'm like, if you have that in your mind, it goes out into the world. I said, just be open to meeting somebody. And you don't have to find your husband.
I mean, open like you were open to Blake slamming the door in his face when you want to go to Starbucks to get coffee? That kind of open?
Yeah, that kind of open. You never take your own advice.
It's the old Genesis song.
You're lucky Blake, was really interested because, you weren't giving him really
He had
good
a handful.
signs. You weren't giving him good signs.
You didn't know what he was getting into. But you guys know, when you have a baby and you hold that baby in your arms, there's no more love. You feel this pure love instantly. You don't know where it comes from, but you don't know you could love somebody that much.
And
like
that's,
a human being.
and you're in a true marriage partnership where he's in the mortgage industry, and at certain points you have to, one has to be the head of the household and do things, and you switch. My wife and I are the same way,
Right.
depending on where you are. I mean, can you just walk us through, because I know when he's in the financial industry and the mortgage crisis happens in 2009, I mean, when did you switch hats to kind of have that conversation of like, this is how we're going to have to do things?
Well, we call it PIC, because husband and wife, like, you could be anything and be a husband and wife. You could be a man, you could be 2 men. I think person in charge is the name. I was a person, who's going to be the person in charge of this house? So you have to have that conversation. Who's going to be the person in charge of the kids, taking them to school? Who's going to be the person in charge of the money? Have that conversation and figure it out, and it's going to switch. So he had to be the person in charge of getting him to school. We ironed their uniforms because they went to Catholic school. I used to iron their uniforms until Blake took over. I'm like, you have to take this over too. Ironed 3 boys, iron the uniforms at night, get their lunches ready. I did all that
get you a
before
steamer.
I know.
Or throw it in the dryer like I do.
That's a good one.
Fabric softener dryer Morrow special.
So that's what, but you have to be open to having these conversations, and everybody has to be, you both have to be open to saying, okay, again, control, this need to control your lives really kind of is a good thing, but it's also a bad thing for people. It holds them down, and you just have to let go of control. When Brennan was born, somebody said to me the most wonderful words I've ever heard: you can never have too many hands to hold a baby or to hug them. I'm like, that's because when you're a mom, you feel like you're failing if you can't do it all by yourself, if you can't take care of your baby, and other people have to come in and help. So we had a wonderful Tori came in. Tori, we loved her. She came in like 9 to 5 and took care of our kids. And I felt guilty because I wasn't there. I wanted to be a stay-at-home mom. That was really what I thought I was made to be in this life. I guess God said, no, that's not your deal. So I spent as much time with the kids as I could. And the time that I spent with them, I always tried to make special. Like when I tell parents all the time, don't spend thousands of dollars on birthdays when they're like 2 or 3. They don't
never
remember.
Yeah.
So my thing was,
We just went. His son just had one at Chuck E. Cheese. The kids have the best time of their life.
Yes, it's crazy.
We were
People
in and out
spend
of
so
there
much
in an hour and a
money,
half.
and it's and the kids cry. So I told my kids from the time they're little, I'm like, it's your day. From the time you open your eyes, you tell me what we're going to do, and we'll do it.
I love that.
So it was breakfast with ice cream sundaes, and then lunch was ice cream sundaes, and then dinner was in and out, and we would go to the movies or like whatever. I did whatever they wanted. I'm like, you tell me what's next, and we do it. And that's how we did their birthdays for each of them, because I had 3, so you want to give one special day to each of them. And those were the best, like the funnest times we ever had, like just having.
Yeah, the core memory
crazy
times
days.
with the kids are by far the most fun.
That's what they'll remember. They're not gonna, like if things are going smooth in their life, they won't. It's not that they're not going to remember it. They'll have a memory of life was good.
Correct.
If something goes bad, they'll remember that. Like if you pick them up 100 days and you miss one, they'll remember the day you missed them. But you're like, I was there 100 times. It doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter.
Yeah,
It was
like,
fun.
I heard somebody say that you have to remember that, when your kids are older and maybe you're not around anymore, that you exist as a memory to your kids. Everything
Yes.
you do exists forever in their mind as a memory to them. So it's important for them to have those memories.
Absolutely.
Like I have great memories with my parents and things, and both my parents are gone, but man, the memories I will always be in my head. And that's what you have to remember to give them those times.
Right. So you're not going to be perfect every day, but like if you can do those special days, that's going to be the memories that they have.
Yeah. So we're going to go to our last and final pour, which this is
Oh,
one of my
let me finish this
personal favorites. Oh yeah, you asked for another pour,
I know
so
I
you
did.
better down that
I
one.
was too busy talking.
Now, I have been to this distillery with Bob in Kentucky.
We have been. We have engraved bottles from Angel's Envy. It's on Whiskey Row in Louisville.
My sister-in-law lives in Louisville.
Really?
This
You
is
should visit
after-
her more often.
This is after we went to the Louisville Slugger factory.
We
Did you get bats with your
We
names on
did
them?
get bats.
Did
We
you
did
take? Who's got boys? We took the boys there. They all
I
have
have
little
all
bats
girls,
with their names on them.
but my girls have bats.
Yeah, I got it. I actually, at the time I think
All
I
right,
was
cheers.
there,
Cheers.
Good luck.
I
Oh,
didn't have kids. I didn't have
so this
any
one's
small ones.
Angel's Envy from Whiskey Row,
Angel's Envy. I like that name
Louisville.
too.
Oh, it's very good.
Oh, much smoother. Oh
Yes.
yes, that's a good one.
Wow. This is
So this one is 100.
Kind of sweet.
It's a
This
100
one's kind of
proof.
like me.
This
I
is.
bet so.
I think
Oh.
you'd like this one.
That's
This,
what.
this is a
Finished
100
in
proof.
Caribbean rum casks.
It
That's
is.
why it's got that sweet taste.
But
That's
this is,
Grandpa. That's I don't know, some crazy dude.
Yeah,
That's
exactly.
me.
Yeah, this is one I thought they would probably like the most. But this is, Angel's Envy. They say because it's the angel share when bottles age. The angels they say take that part of the whiskey as it ages. So
When
they
the
call
barrels,
it the barrels. Yeah.
barrels age.
I love that.
So Angel's Envy. So now, like as you are in your still, I mean, you try a lot of cases, handle a lot of cases, but you're now in your like legacy part, I think, of your career.
Yes, I feel that way.
So what are you? I mean, tell us what your plans are for professionally and also personally, and what legacy you want Maryann Gallagher.
Well, everything that drives me is the kids. So my goal was, because I worked so hard and it was tough, I said I want to be able to have a job that I can put all 3 kids through school without loans. That was my goal. So that's what I would do. I would settle cases. You guys are doing your little money away for your kids for their education. You can do the tax-free ones.
Yep.
So I did that, and then I would do annuities for them. So when I settled a case, we told them they're going to UC schools. Blake was great at that. So we figured
Oh,
out
please, I
when
hope all my kids go to UC schools.
when
I
the
actually
tuition
hope,
was
I hope
due.
that college doesn't exist by the
I
time
know,
my kids are in
I know.
college.
But
Probably
UC's amazing. So
Yeah.
they went to 2 of them went to UC, but I would structure my annuities so that they hit I went online, found out when the tuition was due. This is when they were still in high school, and structured the annuities to hit when they were in their different years, so they would have it. So once I got them all done, that was okay. So now I can
it's
start
you.
thinking about myself.
Any of them lawyers? Any of them want to be
Well,
lawyers?
then my oldest goes, I want to go to law school. Like I told them, do not be a lawyer if you don't have the passion. Don't be a lawyer because mom was a lawyer and you're finished with college and you're like, I want another 4 years of like fun. Like that's not fun. And I said, you have to love it because if you don't love it, you will hate it. Like it's a crazy life and there's a lot of stress. You have to learn a lot. So he said, I want to go to law school. I'm like, as long as you're doing it just because you you're not going to work for me. Don't assume that's what you're going to do. Assume that you're starting out fresh. Is that what you want to do? He's like, yes. So he's a second-year law student, but now I'm just like, God damn it! It's not gonna work. Like now he's second year, I have another year with him. Then
Where does he go to law school?
he's at Loyola.
Oh, nice.
Then my middle one, who's brilliant, engineer, unbelievably brilliant mind, graduated from UC San Diego. And then he says, he's working, and he's very smart. So he's like, he's going to Cal Berkeley for a master's in some type of AI engineering.
Oh, that's perfect.
So, okay, how long is
These
that?
two are going to work together.
I know, so that's like 2 more years. Then my little one, who's the bad boy, is he's Blake, all over Blake. He's at University of Arizona, party school, that's his life. He wants to party in the fraternity, doing all the bad stuff. So he's starting his second year. So I have 2 more years with him. And then his best friend, his best friend is like my woofie. He's got his best friend since preschool. Best friend's like, I want to go to law school. So Blake's like, I want to go to law school. I'm like, ah! So that's, I haven't finished that goal yet. I thought I was, but I'm still working on it. And that's fine. So I've reached my mom goal, which was, I think, to me, the most important one. I think I've been where I want to be as a lawyer, but it is for me, it is the way that I take care of my kids. That's how I see it. So as long as I can keep on doing that for them, that's fine. And then eventually, so Blake and I will, who knows if we'll ever retire. But it's fun. Like I look at guys like 70 years old trying cases. That'll probably be me. Just
Where
for
do you
fun.
guys live?
But you do it because you do
I
it
love
because you
it.
love it.
I
You
love
do it because you love it.
It's my favorite place.
Some people try cases because they need to, right? And I think it's a different thing.
You should never try a case for attorney's fees, or you
Correct.
should never try a case because you think you'll get, like if you believe in your client, that's when you should try a case. The biggest mistake people make is, like in our case, in employment cases, they're like, I have to try it for the fees. I'm like, no, that's not the reason.
And when
to
you're
try a
trying
case.
cases, we had a discussion about this off camera about using just the human story from the people that are around it and not even calling experts.
I don't believe in experts because I think a jury is 12 people who don't want to hear from some guy who makes $10,000 a year telling them what to think. They could care less. And then they have an expert, they cancel each other out. Everybody pays $50,000, $100,000 on both sides.
That's so amazing too, because I'm friends with Carney Shigeri.
I love Carney.
Also a marquee employment lawyer like yourself, who got a million verdicts just like you, and it's been trial over the years, same thing. And Carney's very simple when he tries the cases. Carney says, I don't need any experts.
Yep.
All I need is someone who got screwed, and I'll tell their story.
That's what I do.
That's
it
it.
should be.
Carney says, did they get screwed or not? If they did, I'll tell
That's
their
what I do,
story,
too.
and the jury will understand it.
Yes.
I was like, Carney, man, if you're getting those kind of verdicts, and that's your strategy, man, God bless you, because he goes in, no experts,
I've seen it.
no meds,
He's so
no
amazing.
nothing,
Yeah.
and just like you, goes in and just knocks it out of the park just on the human story.
Yeah,
and,
you have to
and,
believe.
and connecting with the jury, and that's what's
Yeah,
the number
we were
one
I
thing.
was like Bob was saying about this. Like, if you put a cap, experts are out of control,
Yeah.
and I think for younger lawyers, like you're saying, what do? They take loans at like crazy amounts of money to fund experts. Like, what? How is that justice or a trial? I don't think there should be.
It should be capped. Like
It should be.
I have a big, we're trying to write that bill because it's a cottage industry and they're controlling how
Yes.
things are.
Crazy
It's-
amounts of money.
It's silly.
And not only do they make tons of money, but they're not nice about it either.
No.
Experts,
Oh yeah,
a lot of
they
them
want
are
their
just, they're
check
just
before.
assholes.
Always, yes.
You know?
And we, so I want to, thank Maryann on the show publicly, but she's like really mentored a lot of other women in the space, and it's been very, very nice to see when she was like in a trial, I think it was this year or the year before in Riverside, just the amount of chatter and women reaching out and watching your trial and talking about it in real time on the Just HQ channels and reaching out. It's just very inspiring because you're giving them what you didn't have.
Yes.
Right? So are you going to be able to, for the legacy part, we talked about your family, what's the headline going to read when you're 85 years old and you hang it up finally? The professional.
I don't know if I ever, I think the most important thing I would say is, like, you introduced me to Jamie, a young woman lawyer.
Yeah.
Within a month, I had her in trial with me. I'm like, come to trial with me. Like, there's a great law in LA now that says, it's a local rule, that says you can bring in young lawyers and they can do part of voir dire, they can do part of cross. So I said, come with me. I met her for a month. I'm like, come with me, try this case. That's what I want to do. I want to be
Jamie
able
Wright,
to.
you know Jamie.
Yeah.
So Jamie,
Yeah.
I met her at Lottie Raw, and she was like, she's like, I need a mentor who would be good. Can you help mentor me? I was like, I could probably, but I think it might be better for you with who you are to reach out, to put her in touch with you and Jeannie and a few others. And within a month, she's trying a case with Maryann, and they get it for $10 million.
Yes, we got $7 million.
Well, she walks the walk, but talks the talk, but walks the walk too. Like I've heard stories about Maryann, how lawyers are sick, or they can't get something done because they're in trial and they don't have an associate, or whatever. and then you'll hear, oh, Maryann just like did her opposition to an
Well, she was
MSJ
telling me off
and
camera,
stuff. Like
like-
without telling anybody or anything, she just does
Well,
stuff to help people.
She wants to use attorney share just to help other women cover appearances or help with just little issues to be able to make sure you have that support system so you can
Yeah,
be
like
a mom.
my
be a
baby
self-
got sick this morning. I need somebody. I would jump in if I knew that was happening. Like that's what I'm trying to do is have a thing. But I think my message is to all women out there: you've got it within you. If you have it within you, you can do it. You can have kids. Have kids. They're a blessing. Try cases, and then I'll come in and help you. Like seriously, anybody that needs help, I'm not shy to help. So when I'm 80, I don't know. My mom's 97, and my mom shovels snow at 97.
Does she have to?
Wow.
She's amazing in Philly.
Does she have to carve out a parking spot? Did you guys do that in Philly?
No, she carved out my brother's parking spot. I was so pissed.
You don't know about this stuff.
No.
But my brother comes. My
I was
brother's
born
at
and raised
work.
in
My
LA,
brother's
man. We don't know about no
50.
snow.
My brother's 50. My mom's 97. My mom's like, my shoulder hurts. I'm like, what happened? She's like, I was shoveling the snow because if you don't shovel through the driveway, there's no way to get your car in. So at 9 o'clock at night, my mom goes out and shovels a place for my son.
Well, I think you
her
just
son
let her keep doing it because I think it got her this far. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it does.
But
It does.
Max Breen, who's one of the producers on the show, I see him over here. He's
Oh,
from
we
Philly,
ever talk?
laughing about it.
You're from
'cause-
Philly? What part?
He probably gets
I'm south of Kennett Square, but I went to Temple.
You did.
Temple. I saw the Temple. His eyes light up.
Ah.
But just the pain. I hated this. Like we have to go shovel out parking spots. We put ice down so ice didn't go on top.
Yes.
Put the salt
Snow-
down.
Put the salt down.
And then you have to put a chair.
salt
We put a
down.
chair out so nobody parked in the spot. And there'd be
Yes,
fights on the
yes,
street. If somebody parked in the
yes.
spot you shoveled, that chair would be on somebody's windshield.
Oh God.
You're out at like 3 o'clock in
Yeah.
the morning. It's freaking ass cold. You're shoveling snow. That builds character.
It does.
That's anything.
Well, also, Maryann, the thing too. Now, do you see the change now that like at my office? I mean, my office is ran by women.
Good.
Most of the lawyers in my office are women. I think I have 5 female lawyers and 2 male associates. Everyone who runs my office manager, my administrator, everybody.
But they say now this
it's
is the
all
first
women
year
now that are running the
more,
legal
I think
business.
that's
there's more female associates than male this year. It's the first time it's ever
Wow.
happened. They
I'm
just had an
glad.
article about.
I was lonely for a while.
Yeah. Now I think it's a big change. I think there's more
There is.
women lawyers than men lawyers.
And there should. But I think the fear of having a family and that's keeping women back from having kids. Like they're being lawyers, but they're afraid to take that other step and have kids.
Well, that's have them put their careers in their own hands and find a good mentorship crowd. I think it's
Yeah.
a very, very support. So we're going to have to wrap up this session with Maryann Gallagher, but we have to always ask this. We do at the end of the show. Oh, you can finish that for sure. You can finish the bottle. I know Blake's over there salivating.
That is really good.
Okay, so you have to pick out of all these ones we went from the Irish whiskey. We went to Kentucky for a full proof heavy bourbon. We stayed in Kentucky to Louisville for a finished rye in Caribbean casks. Maryann Gallagher, out of these 3, what's your bourbon approved?
This is mine, and I'm taking this, and have a nice day.
Yeah, well, that
this
is
is
a
the
good one.
best.
That is a good one. Nice and
This is great.
very,
It's
very
so
smooth
light.
rye,
I love
very
it.
smooth
It's
rye.
that's a feminine.
Yeah, I mean, it tastes like almost like maple syrup. So when people always tell
Oops,
me,
goodness.
I always have at least one of these at home. When people tell me they don't like whiskey and they never drank it before, I say,
Yeah.
well, let me pour you something.
Yeah.
And they have it like, this is
Sweet.
amazing.
It's got a little bit of honey flavor.
Yeah, no, that's good. For sure.
But 100 proof. Well, Maryann, thank you for coming on this episode of Bourbon Proof.
you,
You're an
guys.
inspiration to many people.
Definitely.
Definitely. And we look forward to you teaching my 3 daughters and his
Yes,
youngest daughter.
I'm there
how
for
to-
them. Call me.
You can
My
contract
little
his-
one would definitely be a good lawyer. She's
Yeah.
feisty.
She is feisty. She's
Sassy.
Sassy
Sassy
friends.
girls.
All right. Well, thank you for coming on this
Thank
episode
you.
of
Do I
Bourbon
get a
Proof. Oh, yeah, for sure. Oh, that was a good one.